Hello, it's Mike Korin, eXp Realty. Welcome to the Lake Barcroft show. Today we're going to be talking about what kind of vegetables grow best in the Lake Barcroft climate, and also some of which do not grow well. Pitfalls. I've been kind of gardening here for about 20 years, and I've learned a few things. Maybe it'd be helpful. I mean, I'm not a very good gardener, but I know some of you might be. And some of you also are beginners. So let's share a few things. Cucumbers tend to grow very well here. Okay, now that is what else do we have here? That's a big one right there. I'm going to pick another one. And it's okay to pick them smaller. There's a reason why I'm not always going to wait for them to grow this big. Once a cucumber plant starts pumping out these mature ones, it actually tells itself it's done with its job in life and the plant will start dying. Cut them a little smaller. You're going to avoid bitter taste and you'll be producing for longer. Tomatoes tend to do very well here. We have cold winters. We have hot, humid summers. I got a late start because I have a 5.5-month-old baby. I started mine late. So this is about the second cherry tomato I've had all year. And it is August 13. Normally these will start much earlier in the year. Now I'm going to encourage you, when you plant your tomatoes, don't put them in the ground until May 1. We're going to start having in Virginia some 70-degree days in March and even April. It can be tempting, but we could have frost up until May 1. Lillian Peterson, good friend of mine. She was the woman attacked by the beaver. Huge gardener, huge realtor. She was my mentor. She taught me that May 1, passing that on to you. Basil, you can't go wrong. It's like a weed here. I cut down about 5 gallons of this off this plant last week, gave it away. Basil does great. We have more cucumbers. Eggplant does real well. I did my eggplant harvest just about 2 days ago. Got 2 real big ones. And then mint. But now what's happening is we have our hot, humid summers. Mint's going to start dying back in the winter. It takes almost nothing to get it big, green, and lush in the spring. I like mixing it with water, a little bit of lemon juice, and drinking it. Fantastic. Now this is dill. Dill's going to grow real well here. You're going to see mine's coming up and it's starting to seed. And that's okay. Dill is very forgiving. You can actually use these for bottling and pickling the seeds. But I really like to take new potatoes. We grow potatoes, boil them, mix them with sour cream, put a little bit of dill in there. Reminds me of my grandparents' farm in southern Illinois. Okay, we have tomatoes here, more basil. Now, the thing about basil and a lot of our vegetables is they're going to want to go to seed. When you start seeing flowers start popping off the top, try to break them off. Again, once they seed, a lot of plants, it triggers them and their life cycle. This one's a little bit early, but it is fun just to pick. I don't mind picking a little early. I can take my tomatoes, little green tomatoes coming out too. Now, what can grow very well here, if you're careful, are pumpkins. So this is not just an ornamental pumpkin. This is actually going to be eaten. I've spent a lot of time in Thailand. One of my favorite curries is Thai pumpkin curry. So I'm going to cook that with coconut milk, peanuts. I can put a little bit of butternut squash, which also grows real well here, and cook that down savory with a little bit of red curry paste. It's fantastic on a bed of rice. I always want to meat in my curry. Once I learned about pumpkin curry, I do a lot of veggie. I should also mention what does not grow well here. What used to be here instead of my dill was rhubarb. I worked for the U.S. Forest Service in the mountains of Colorado, most of the time in Vail prior to being a realtor. And rhubarb grew everywhere there. That's because of the cold climate. So I was like, well, I'll grow rhubarb here. I did successfully for 2 or 3 years. We'd have rhubarb pies. They were delicious. Again, we have very hot, humid summers. We don't have much of a transition in this area from spring, the cool of spring until the warm of summer. Bam, it's overnight. So what's going to happen is your rhubarb is going to start bolting and flowering. Same problem. It was, what's the reward versus the effort? I am constantly watering my rhubarb, trying to keep it cold. I finally gave up on it. Some things are going to be more forgiving here. Other things you want to be careful about, maybe you don't want to plant, you can. But again, because our summers hit so hard, is spinach. Spinach is a tricky one. Spinach is going to like cooler weather. Broccoli is going to like cooler weather. Collard greens, cooler weather. So maybe be a little bit tricky about that. You want sun lovers, okra, tomatoes, those type of things. Now here, again, from Thailand, just some little Thai chilies. These are wonderful. Put these inside curries. What I'm actually probably going to do with that greenish tomato I just harvested is we make a green tomato hot sauce. That's awesome. We put that on everything. And because I had a later start to the year, I have some jalapenos. I have some big bell peppers, sweet peppers here. Those are going to do real well. And what's a lot of fun, this is the only part of my garden I could do it because it's very deep and very loamy, is these guys right here. These are potatoes. Potatoes will do really well here. We've already harvested our potatoes. We did it a month, 6 weeks ago, but we obviously missed a few. So these are volunteers popping up. We might get a fall harvest of potatoes, 1, 2, 3. We might get a fall harvest. And I almost guarantee we're still going to have left some. We're probably going to get volunteers in the spring. Potatoes just keep giving. So I love to garden. And people often ask me, boy, it must be so much time to work on this. I really spend almost zero time on my garden. I'll take a morning cup of tea, and as I'm out here just watering with one hand, I'll just come over and pick a few weeds every morning, and that's about it. I water my tomatoes, I water my veggies, that's about it. I'm Mike Korin. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below if you're a gardener, if you have tips, or if you found this informational, you want to share something with me. I'm always trying to become the best gardener I can be. Let me know. And lastly, my soil, this is called black gold. I bought it about 6 years ago. There was a gentleman up in Maryland who was producing it. I texted him this morning to see if he's still producing, and if he is, I could share his information with you. But what black gold is, he has a agreement with Starbucks coffee. He takes the spent coffee grinds, and then he has an agreement with some ranches, some horse ranches, stables, and he takes the leftover stall waste, hay, manure. He composts that with the Starbucks coffee grinds. He has a product called Black Gold. So I had a dump truck of Black Gold delivered a few years ago. This is all Black Gold, and the garden is just doing awesome. I'm Mike Korin. Thanks so much for watching. Again, share your gardening tips with me.